Hi everyone, I'm Joseph from Namseoul University and a cable industry part. Okay, let's get started this class. Our last class we studied about the uh, authenticity, about the definition and the example, and this time we will study about the success story of authenticity. Okay, the first the first example about the authenticity is Patagonia. The Patagonia is a fashion company and outwear company. Okay, let's get started about the Patagonia of the example of authenticity. Okay, on Wall Street, the wear casual attire uh, became commonplaces following the 2008 subprime mortgage crisis. Many companies favored Patagonia fleece vest to the extent that it was that you can tell who worked in the financial industry on Wall Street just by looking at their vest. So this vest, the Patagonia vest. However, in 2019, Patagonia, the company suddenly announces from now on, we will only sell this vest to eco-friendly company. So the Patagonia company, the narrowed consumer, uh, uh, so they told about we will only sell vests to eco-friendly company and began refusing to sell to businesses that fail to meet standard their standard related to the environmental activities. So Patagonia didn't sell their product uh, to to the companies that don't didn't meet standards related to the environmental activities. And given that Patagonia's fleece vest had solidified it as a symbol of Wall Street financiers, and the company's decision to forego the potential for the a sustainable revenue stream was difficult to view as the behavior of profit-driven corporations. This was not the first time the Patagonia had taken such a unique approach. In 2011, uh, contrary to the many companies striving to achieve higher sales rate during Black Friday. The Black Friday is an amazing shopping period in the US. The largest shopping event, uh, Black Friday, the largest shopping event in the US. The company the company places advertisement in New York Times urging people not to buy its clothes. Don't buy this jacket. Don't buy this jacket. Please wear the jacket that you had already had. So Patagonia stated it would be hypocrisy to claim to work for environmental change without encouraging consumer to reconsider their purchase. So explaining that it ran the ad to discourage reckless consumption and to encourage people to consume less but more prudently. So generating profit is the most fundamental goal of a corporation. However, the Patagonia's action appeared as if it has absolutely to, absolutely no interest in money. Nevertheless, Patagonia's management philosophy, the earth is the end, business is the means, is actually driving the company's growth with projected profit of 2.15 trillion won this year alone. So this is very important example of authenticity. authenticity. And please remember the company, the Patagonia, to know about the authenticity. And last time about the authenticity is the uh, content creation. So the power of authenticity in content creation. Authenticity is in Korean in Jinjeong-song. Authenticity is the one thing that will always make you stand out in the comparative digital world. Not only not only is it admirable, but staying loyal to who you are and what you believe in are crucial. You attract others. You attract others who are similar to you when you share your authentic ideas, opinions, and life experiences. This is the reason uh, sincerity counts. The first is develop trust. Sincerity is a trait that people are able to detect. Being genuine encourages your uh, the audience trust and loyalty, which is priceless. And second is the establishes connection. Being really yourself foster closer relationship because they can identify with the real person behind the content. Your audience will be able to connect to your hardship and appropriate your successes. And the second and the third is stand out. Authenticity is your superpower in a crowded environment. It sets you apart from others, so it is a very different thing uh, from others. So here are three brief pointers to help you create content that is authentic. The first is determine your principle and value, and second is to be open and honest. And third is remain consistent. So please remember that authenticity is more than just being honest. It's about it's about being true to yourself and your beliefs. Staying true is to principles allow you to not only cultivate a loyal audience but also create meaningful and impactful content. Okay, until now, we studied about the authenticity, the power of authenticity in content creation, and a successful story about authenticity, especially Patagonia and type of authenticity and obvious and definition about authenticity. Okay, next we will move on to the 22 immutable law of marketing. This time we will focus on the law 19 and law 20. The law 19 is the law of failure, and the law 20 is the law of hype. The 19, the law, no, 19 law is the law of failure, and the law of 20, the law of hype is these laws challenge two dangerous assumption in business. The first is that failure should be avoided at all costs, and second is that media attention equals real success. However, modern marketing reality teaches the opposite. The failure is often necessary for innovation. So failure is not good, is only bad, but failure is very helpful to to manage the business. And excessive hype frequently signals weakness rather than the strength. So uh, excessive hype is a dangerous sign. These laws are especially relevant in startup ecosystem and social media marketing and AI industries and K-beauty branding and influencer marketing. So today's lecture will help you understand. The first is why smart companies embrace failure. Uh, smart companies tells us the failure is also very important and very important experiences. And secondly is why many hot brands crash quickly. And third is why sustainable brands grow quietly. Okay, let's move on to the next law of failure. The definition of the law of failure is the failure is to be expected and accepted. So you have to embrace it, the failure, because you cannot predict the future. It's better to take risks, quickly recognizes when something isn't wrong is working, and cut your losses early rather than dwelling on mistakes. So most companies treat failure as embarrassment and weakness and incompetence. But the but our textbook argues failure is natural in marketing. So not everyone uh, think about the failure is bad. The failure is natural in the marketing. The product launch, advertisement, and strategy, and passion, innovation will succeed. So the key principle of the law of failure uh, is four. The first principle is the fear of failure creates paralyzes many organizations, many companies avoid innovation, risk, experimentation because they fear what failure. Many company, many organizations fear about uh, are afraid about the failure, but result, but the result of them. Uh, they become slow and conservative and irrelevant. So fear of failure creates paralysis is very important. And the second principle is successful companies run quickly from mistake, from their failure. So winning companies admit mistake early and cut losses rapidly and adapt strategically. And the principle three, third principle is ego prevents running. Managers often continue fails project because they fear embarrassment and they protect personal reputation. This is called escalation of commitment. So ego and arrogance prevents running. The fourth principle is small failure prevents large failure. So it is better than a small failure than a large failure. So continuous experimentation allows the faster learning and a faster adaptation and reduces long-term risk. So uh, please make a small failure to uh, to make a great strategy and prevent prevent a large failure. So primary concept of the law of failure is the first is embrace the pivot. Instead of trying to salvage, reorganize, or throw money at a campaign or a product that isn't working, accept the failure and cut your losses early. So embrace the uh, pivot and overcome denial. Companies often hesitated to kill failed projects because admitting defeat can be perceived as a bad for a manager's career. Uh, prioritizing corporate goals over personal agenda is crucial. So So overcome deniers and encourage risk taking. The, this is the most important thing. The nothing innovation, nothing innovative ever happened without taking a risk. A culture that accept failure allows marketers to test new ideas, run quickly, and iterate. So encourage risk taking. So encouraging uh, and and having a risk taking is a better strategy to uh, is very is better strategy to make a large failure or not taking a risk. Okay, the core idea of law of failure is perfection is impossible in marketing. So even world-class companies fail repeatedly. So important insight is the failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Please remember the blue sentence. The failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Failure is part of success in business and in your life. So this. Please remember that failure is not a part of success. Failure is part of success. So don't hesitate and don't be afraid about the failure. Okay, the first example, the example of the law of failure is New Coke. The New Coke's background is the Coca-Cola company fears losing market share to Pepsi. So the company reformulated Coca-Cola into one New Coke, but the uh, but consumers refuse to buy this New Coke. So the problem, consumers emotionally reject the change. The issue was not taste alone. It was identity and nostalgia, emotional attachment. So as a result, Coca-Cola quickly reverses course and returns Coca-Cola Classic. So the public relations is massive, a backlash, consumer protests, media criticism, and brand confusion. The key lesson is a failure became a learning experience of brands threatening moments. So I ironically, Coca-Cola's emotional connection became even stronger afterwards. So the first failure is very helpful to Coke by making a new Coke. So Coca-Cola run about the uh, Coca-Cola Classic is a very uh, a Coca-Cola Classic has a very strong power in a consumer mind. And second example is Google and Google Glasses. The product vision is Google Glass attempted a wearable augmented reality and smart glasses integration. The fear factor is that privacy concerns and social discomfort and limited practical uses and high prices. So the cool glasses outcome is the commercial failure, but important insight is the technology influences the AR development and smart wearable evolution. So failure became the strategy earning. So uh, so the only in selling in Google Glasses, the Google predict about the sales revenue is going very fast is growing very fast, but uh, the result is the failure. But the Google runabout this case is the failure uh, by the failure. So they run about AI, AI technology is needed, and smart wearable evolution is needed. And last example is the Meta and the metaverse. The massive investment is the Meta, the Facebook invested billions into VR and metaverses ecosystem. The second current challenge is consumer adoption remains uncertain. So important discussion is this temporary failure or a long-term strategy investment. The teaching insight: not all failure are immediately visible. Some require years to evaluate. So this metaverse's failure is also very important to Meta. So uh, Meta stopped the investments about the metaverse, and Meta, the Facebook, is uh, is investing about the AI and Instagram to algorithm system to personalize the consumer. The last part is the law of failures of uh, the law of failure insight. The final strategy lesson is the law of failure teaches the cost of avoiding failure is often greater than the cost of failure itself. So don't hesitate about doing something. Please embrace and please taking a risk and please embrace the failure. So I have three discussion questions. The first is the why do corporations fear admitting failure? And next is how does organizational culture affect innovation? And last is that can failure threaten brand trust? Well, last we will learn about the law 20, the law of hype. The definition of law hype is a brand actual market reality is almost always the exact opposite of the its press or media coverage. The situation is often the opposite of the way it appears in the press. So don't believe the press. This law warns that media attention does not equal real success. In fact, excessive hype often hides weaknesses, and truly successful brands usually grow quietly. So, a very successful company and brand usually grow quietly. So, please focus on the quietly growing company. The market in reality, the media environment rewards excitement and drama, a trend and viral attention. But sustainable business requires profitable customer loyalty and operating strengths. The key principle of the law of hype is the first principle is the hype creates a distorted perception. Consumers and investors often confuse visibility with sustainability. So, principle two is the truly strong companies focus internally. So, uh, successful companies usually uh, prioritizes product quality and customer satisfaction and long-term systems rather than media attention. So please don't focus on the media attention. The third principle is publicity can create unrealistic expectation. And the fourth principle is sustainable growth is usually gradual. So long-term brand power developed slowly, quietly and constantly. This is a very important part of the law of hype. The key truths of the law of hype is first is when a product is heavily hyped, it's usually in trouble. So please think about a different. When a company's marketing and PR sound like uh, desperate, perhaps it typically means the product isn't selling well or is struggling. And secondly is when things are going well, hype isn't needed. So highly successful brands and revolutionary products rely on quite momentum rather than front page media buzz. And third is real revolution don't arrive on the front page. The transformational products tend to sneak into society on, unannounced and grow steadily. In contrast, heavily hyped gadgets often fail to replace the stage code. So the core idea of the law of hype is attention is not the same as value. So there is a difference between popularity and market leadership. So please remember this. Okay. Uh, we will learn today. We will learn about at this point the core idea of law of hype because. It's time over. So thank you for attending. Thank you for attending our class, and please remember about what we have studied, what we have learned. Okay. Thank you for attending these classes, and please see next classes. Bye.